Hello everyone, here is my review of one of Neff's C-range microwave grills that I've just had the pleasure of receiving. Now, I'm going to be completely honest with you, normally I don't go for great big massive microwaves, but I think after having a look at this I may be a little bit convinced. Previously I've just had a tiny little microwave that has done me all the world of good. But this one seems to be very, very useful. Let's get started with the options that we've got on there. So obviously we've got the very simple on-off button, so let's just pop that straight on there, and we can see we've even got a colour display on there at the beginning. Not that there's any other colour later on, which is a little bit disappointing, but hey. So I've pressed the on button, and now all of a sudden we've got all of these options here. So we've got a little house on here, a clock, this movement button here, an information button here, a temperature one, and a pause and play button here. Might as well note as well the symbols across here, these aren't buttons. They may look like buttons, but they're not buttons. Would have been useful if they were little shortcuts to the options inside, but no, we have to make do. Right, so let's start by putting it into one of the settings. So what we've got here is, with this little movement cursor here, we're able to scroll through the different options. Don't worry if I'm going too fast, I'm coming back to the same ones. So the one that it originally starts on is hot air. So hot air, if we press this information button here, it actually tells us that hot air is for baking and roasting on one or more levels. Useful to know. So you have to press the information button again to come back to it. So if we want the hot air, we just press the down button there, and we can select the temperature. 180 degrees, there we go, absolutely fantastic. So I'm happy with that, 180 degrees, I just simply press the play button. Here we have the little timer on here that says how long it's actually been running for. And up here you'll notice a little bar. It's not very clear on this image, but depending on how far over it is, shows actually how hot the oven is. Or if I press the information button, it tells me the exact temperature. There we go. Let's stop the on there. Move on to another option would be the So there we go. Onto Surco Roasting, which that is for roasting of poultry and larger pieces of meat. In case you're into that kind of thing. There we go. Over across to the grill large area. Won't have to put on information to tell you what that does. The grill small area. Plate warming, which obviously that is for warming plates, as Neff are so useful in telling us here, for warming plates, there you go. And then of course we have the all-important eco mode. Eco mode is energy optimized, so it's just a little bit of a more economical way of using the oven. So as far as I can see, it heats up a little slower, so it doesn't give you the option of boosting to heat up the oven any quicker at all. And then we have dry appliance. Now dry appliance is a little bit confusing. You can dry the cooking compartment after an operation by using the drying function. So if you get the oven wet inside, maybe during a cleaning session or something like that, you can put it onto this drying setting, set that off, and it'll dry it up for you before you actually use the oven. Okay, so let's go back to the main one which we had here, which was the hot air. That I believe is the standardized function. As it's important to understand that this is a microwave with a grill option. Okay, so this hot air is actually the microwave setting. But the important functions that I find on here are things like the little timer here. Okay, so if I was to press the timer, I've got a couple of options, which one is I want it to finish in 30 minutes, okay, or the other one is I want it to ring a bell in 1 minute, or however long you want it, you just select it with these. Okay, so as I press the timer back on there, it's given me a 30-minute delay on there. Okay, in order to cancel it though, as far as I can see, the only way to do it is to literally, you have to scroll it all the way back down. A little bit of a pain, but hey, you can live with it. We've then got this, which is a cool funky button if you're in a bit of a hurry. This basically means that you're going to boost how quickly the hot air function is actually going to heat up. So if I pressed play on here, but then I can press this booster, rapid heating activated. Sounds very high-tech. It's not really, it's just it heating up a lot faster. So you'll notice that the bar here will all of a sudden get up to right up to the full 160 degrees or whatever you set it to, a lot quicker than it would do normally. There we go, let's stop that one. Let's have a look inside then, seeing as we've run through the basic functionalities of it. Have a quick look inside. Very clean and very lovely, seeing it's all brand new. I think I may have heated it up a little bit too much by playing around with it, but it's okay. If I scream and shout out that I've burnt my fingers, then it's my own fault. So we've got the top grill here. This is for your standard settings. So I think what's useful here is, as you pull it forward, it's got a little bit of a latch at the back here that basically stops you from pulling it too far forward by accident. You can, if you jiggle it around a bit, then you can pull it all the way out, obviously. But it stops you from pulling the tray out and dropping it all over the floor. And then you've obviously got exactly the same with the bottom tray here for catching drips, etc. And 3 settings on the side for levels of your trays. All very useful, all very easy to use, and all very basic. It's what you'd see in a normal oven. Not normally in a microwave, but normally in an oven. Another thing that I had noticed whilst going through the instruction manual, which I kind of like, is the fact that this here, this top bit here, I always find that they get really, really dirty as you're using them. But this actually has a functionality on the side here, where if you press this side and the other side at the same time, I can't do it because I'm holding the camera at the moment, but if you press both sides at the same time in and pull out, then that whole thing comes off and you're able to just wash that straight off really, really easily. So as a general overview, I like all of the gadgets. I think they're absolutely fantastic. Oh, here you go, there's another thing that's come on. As I turned it off, this little H here, that means that the oven's still hot. If it had a big H on it, a capital H, then that would obviously mean that it's very hot inside. Very simple, very basic reviews, but always kind of useful, especially if you've got kids and you don't want them touching the microwave. However, even though it says it's hot, to the touch, it's not, it's freezing cold. So that's always an advantage. Anyway, yeah, just as a standard overview for the unit, I would say it is huge for a microwave, kind of excessive. I would say a little bit too excessive. I can't see you needing a microwave that's actually that big. But I like all of the functionalities of it, the time down functionality on it, all that kind of thing. I think they're absolutely fantastic. I like the fact that it shows you the temperature building up, and I like the fact that it shows you exactly how long it's been running, that kind of thing. So all in all, it's a great bit of kit as long as you've got the space for it. Thanks for watching, and if you have any questions, just pop them in the comments.